All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly update. Hope everybody's having a lovely weekend. And with that being said, getting some TA. All right, guys, we're going to kick it off here with the indices. We'll go over the four major indices. We will go over the mega caps. We'll go over the chip stocks, the Bitcoin stocks, and then I have 10 plus trade ideas at the end of the video for you. All right, let's get into it. Starting off here on the weekly chart, I did take off all the drawings just for this. All right, just to show the clear as day bullish picture we have here on SPY. All right, so you did get a bullish engulfing candlestick this week off of increasing volume. I'm not going to say it's just going to go straight up. I'm personally looking for, a consolidation kind of week or a little pullback that gets bought up. And then that, kind of creates that consolidation style weekly candlestick at the end of the week. Not sure exactly how it's going to shape up, but what we do definitely know is this is nothing to be bearish on. We just had a fresh breakout to a new all-time high after you had a lot of people fear-mongering over here. We knew on this channel that this dip was extremely likely just going to act as a buying opportunity for that move up to new all-time highs. What happened? You end up skyrocketing. At this point, guys, I'm not going to say we're going to go straight up. We could, but I really would, set your expectations low for this week, considering the massive week we just had. It would not surprise me even in the slightest to get a little pullback or some consolidation going on this week. So that's what, my bias is going to be coming into the week. And I just want to make that abundantly clear at the beginning of the video. All right. But, on the weekly chart, we can see massive green candlestick here, followed by that increasing or accompanied with that increasing volume. All right. It does look like it's going to be going higher. We did not hit that $600 psychological level yet. We missed it by, 36 cents last week. We're probably going to hit that next week. All right. So coming down to the daily time frame, we're going to turn on, all of our lines over here. I'm going to point out, guys, this is your big breakout spot. 583.32 was the high of this candlestick right here, all the way up to 586.12, which was your previous all-time high. If you pull back into that, we are expecting buyers there. You're also going to have your daily 9 EMA right over there. So, chances are, if you get that pullback, it's just going to act as another buying opportunity before you run up to a new all-time high. All right. So, on the weekly chart, it's very clear where we had the action right over here. You had your sellers, and then buyers just kind of slammed right through them. So if we come back, that supply zone over here, it's probably going to be flipped into demand. All right. So, we'll start off with that. We're going to come down to the hourly time frame for our support and resistance. All right. Our resistance, we're literally just going to be watching 599.64, 599.64. Above there, you got the 600 cycle level. It's pretty much the same level, guys. We're not looking, you hit 600, you're probably going to get some sellers there. All right. But, at the end of the day, we don't normally just, go to the level that everyone is watching and then stall out there. We typically will overshoot it by a couple bucks and then get a pullback. So just something to keep in mind there. But, on the hourly time frame, we can see support here is 596.65, 593.92, and then we have this 591.93 gap right below. Underneath there, we have 589.43, and then that big breakout level at 586.12, which was the previous all-time high. As you could see, hourly RSI is just dancing around up here. We don't typically, spend too much time up here without actually getting this thing pulling back. So that's why I am personally going to be looking for that consolidation or a pullback this week. On the 15-minute time frame, you've just been building out these divergences here for quite some time. 2 whole trading sessions. I think it might have been 3 at this point. 2 whole trading sessions there. We are likely going to see, a decent pullback here. I want to see this thing, I'm talking about the oscillator specifically. Price doesn't even have to pull back, guys, but we are looking for overbought conditions to pull back. That is that. All right. Now moving over here to QQQ, again with the weekly chart, we could very clearly see, I know we got a bunch of lines there. This was where you had your sellers. You got above that this week. Guess what? You pull back into that, we're probably going to have buyers defending there, all right? So on the daily time frame, pretty clear here, all right? Pull back into the zone, which is anywhere from 596.50 up to 503.52. pull back into there, we're definitely going to be expecting buyers. I will point out how you had decreasing volume here on the last 2 trading sessions. That, is indicative of exhaustion, buyer exhaustion there. We could be starting that pullback. And like I just pointed out on SPY, guys, this hourly RSI is just sitting up here for a long time. All right. We typically get it pulling back. And even if price isn't to pull back with it, we typically see it pull back and, revert to the mean there. It's not happening right now. Things are a little stretched out. And I'm going to point out, there's one specific reason I do have that, a little kind of bearish bias coming into the week. VIX, we're going to talk about it right after this. All right. But, as of support over here on QQ, we have 512.99. 511.87, lose that, you probably come down to 510.35 pretty quick. And then you have gap support of 508.34. And then we will have the actual gap filled down at 506.41. All right. Of course, we're expecting buyers if you come down and test 503.52, somewhere in this area, just like we talked about at first. All right. Resistance, 514.92. Up there, you have the 515 psych level and then 520. That's all you really have to go off of right now. All right. So now, we're going to jump over here to Mr. VIX, and I am going to point out daily RSI is nearing oversold territory, typically where it starts bouncing back from. We're going to just mark that out. You could see, this is where, buyers are going to start stepping in. We, a lot of the time, we see it happen right around here. Well, what also do we have right here? We have our heavily traded zone, and ever since we put this on a chart over here, guys, we've gotten some reactions off of it. You don't typically come into the zone without getting that reaction. I'll just point it out. I pointed out in the previous video as well. Reaction, 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 reaction. All right. Like, I'm not even going to count, but you could count with me. All right. Reaction. All right. You get a bunch of, you got a bunch of supplies in here. Sellers. I know it's not actually buyers and sellers over here on VIX, but, technical analysis is still applied and can work on Mr. VIX over here. All right. What happened over here? You got your reaction. You didn't just sell straight through the zone. You got a little bounce before you sold through the zone. And then once you did, reaction. Like, guys, I could keep going on. This is the zone where you typically get your reactions from. So we're going to be looking for bulls to step in here. Again, I understand it's not exactly buyers and sellers over here. It is just directly tied to SPX's option chain. That is fine, guys. We do technical analysis all the time on Mr. VIX. And, if you can't do it, then guess what? Why do we have sellers stepping in the exact same spot 3 times in a row? Well, because people are watching it. It is moving according to technical analysis. It is respecting it over here on the weekly time frame. You have a big, fat, nasty red bar. All right? You notice how you came into the zone. You had this red bar. You did get a little bit of buyers there. All right. You have one over here. You did get a little buyers over there. You have one right here. You did also get a little buyers stepping in there. So, I am going to definitely be looking for VIX to get a little bounce here. You have the hourly RSI just carving out these bullish divergences here. As you slowly in a controlled manner, you're coming down into a heavily traded zone. We are probably going to get buyers stepping in between current price 15 and 14.25-ish. All right, that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. I would not be surprised at all to see this. All right, something like that where you get a little dead cat bounce out of the zone. It gives everyone a pullback over there on the major indices and, across the board on the market. And then it ends up actually selling through that zone. That's what I'm going to be paying attention to. And this is, one of the main reasons I do think we're probably going to be getting a pullback this week. VIX is giving us a hint over here. We're going to not just ignore it. We're going to take it. All right. So, honestly, my bias for the week is sell starting the week and get bought up by the end of the week. Maybe we end up with the consolidation weekly candlestick in the form of like a doji over here on QQQ and SPY. It would make sense. Just like over here, following these big bars, just like over here, upside was limited. You see that? All right. So if we get bought up to start the week, I'm going to look for sellers to step in by the end of the week. If we sell by, like right away to start off the week, we're going to look for some buyers to step in towards the end of the week. That's typically how these things are going to play out. I'm not saying it has to go like that. I am just going to, point out, yeah, after big weeks, it's not surprising to see some consolidation or a pullback. All right. Big week, pullback. Okay. And then maybe we get a little bit of consolidation that drives everyone nuts. And then we're going to, just stay reminding ourselves, guys, we're bullish on the dip over here. You had a picture perfect reaction over here to the double bottom neckline we were paying attention to. All right. We were hoping you stepped in here, but worst case scenario, you're going to come down here. The 0.618 fib was somewhere over here around 468. And then you're probably going to get at least a dead cat bounce. And we were going to end up, pointing out that opportunity right there. Either way, you had a long setup to be played. It was either going to be over here or it was going to be down here. And as we see, we now got a big breakout. Yeah, guys, if people start calling for tops, just know these people are not, they're not mentally all there. Okay. And I don't mean to diss anyone. I'm just pointing out, you could have been calling for your top this whole entire time. And I've seen it. All right. I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen it. I don't watch YouTube videos at this point, but I've seen it all over Twitter. There's just a crap ton of large accounts just calling for, tops and major pullback. Guys, we just got a fresh breakout. It's literally this phase right here. You're breaking out. So what if you get the pullback here? It's your buying opportunity. All right. So I will steadily remind you guys of that as we go. Don't you worry, guys. Don't you worry. All right. So that's by QQQ and VIX. Let's go over IWM again with the big breakout off of heavy volume. We're probably going higher. And honestly, this one, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if you pull back on this one right away. If you do, it's going to be a buying opportunity, of course. But as you could see, guys, weekly RSI hasn't even hit overbought yet. You just had, a very long duration consolidation right here, right? That's 3 months of consolidation. You just broke out. I doubt it's just going to get sucked back into that. I understand it was messing with everyone over here, but this consolidation was bullish consolidation for this. All right. You broke out of this range, and you consolidated here, and then you broke above there. And then you can add another little thing right here. You consolidate above there, and now you're just doing that. Guys, you're stair-stepping over here on the weekly time frame, and people are going to get bearish on it. Just know these people are not looking at the larger picture, or they have not had enough screen time, and, they have not seen how markets play out over time. We don't typically just get sucked back into it. Like, we just had a major breakout here, right? So let's be completely real. It's not off the table just to shoot up to that 244.46 all-time high, the current all-time high there. But, as far as resistance goes, guys, above 238.49, you have 240.76 and then 244.46. Probably going to hit 250 after that, I've tested. All right. Or you pull back right around there. It's one or the other. And then, that's probably going to be a buying opportunity. But, we probably get a decent amount of time, a pullback over there, consolidation, if you just shoot up to all-time highs. As support, we're going to have 236.31. All of that candlestick right there. 233.64. I have that candlestick right there. 229.84 over here. And then you're just going to have your breakout level, 226.64. I'm not saying you get back down there by any means. I don't think you get down there. I think you're much more likely to come up to a new all-time high before you come back down here. All right. That's what I'm looking for over here on small caps. And I got some setups that we're going to be paying attention to. We were already watching Upstart. There was you over there. You did not perform as Upstart. But I'll talk about some small cap setups at the end of the video. All right. DIA, again, with the big breakouts off of heavy volume. All right, guys. Like, we could pull back off of these things. But you're probably going to be going higher. And even if you print a bearish candlestick, it probably does come in the form of a wick like that, where, oh, you went up another freaking $18 or another $10 right there. I'm not looking for immediate downside on these things. I'm really not. I'm looking for some consolidation. And if you get a pullback, it's a buying opportunity, and then you get some further upside. These things just had very sexy breakouts. I'm going to point out the mega cap charts. They're looking insane. Big tech's looking pretty crazy. Chips are not looking bad at all. And, I think we have a recipe here for higher prices. Okay. But yeah, over here, Dow is at 440 right now. DIA over here, if you pull back into, 433.20, that is where I'm looking for buyers to step back into the equation. That is where you broke out from. All right. You got your 433.20 to 431.42 zone down there. Lose 436.43. You're probably going to come down here in the short term. If you are if you trade DIA, here you go, 438.25. That is what I would be paying attention to. That was your open right here. That was the high of day from over here. It's definitely going to be a level that is respected. Lose 438.25. You're looking for 436.43 and then 433.20. That is what I got to say over here on Mr. Dow. Okay. Now let's talk about it. Tesla, guys. Tesla, first of all, over $1 trillion market cap. Throwback to when it wasn't even close to over there, and it was under 500 billion when it was all the way down here. But what happened now, guys? You just had this breakout, and anybody who's bearish on this, there's this guy Trigger Trades on Twitter. I'm just gonna say, he's cool, and he seems to get a lot of stuff right. I think he's an idiot for saying what he said. How do you look at this chart and point to $100? How is it possible? Stupid Elliott wave. Maybe some of you guys do Elliott wave. I'm going to tell you right now, over time, I've kind of seen what works and what doesn't. I've had my hand in, the ICT thing and the Elliott wave thing. And guys, the concepts are complicated, and you have no reason to complicate the market. Just follow price action, it goes. I do it perfectly fine here on this channel. If you don't know how to do it, I will show you as you go in real time. There you go. Guys, Tesla is very likely going higher from here. Elon Musk is, this is his company. Elon Musk is now going to be a key role in the Trump cabinet. We are not a key role, but let's be completely real. He's got his hand in the government now. This thing's probably going up to all-time highs at the end of the day. You just had a big breakout over here above this 271 level, off of increasing volume. Monthly chart looks insanely bullish. You just had another breakout over this resistance over here at 313.61. You didn't get, the monthly close, but you did get a weekly close above there, a little peekaboo action. Guys, if you pull back into we're going to say anywhere from 271 to, any of these support levels over here that were resistance, you're probably going to get buyers stepping in somewhere along the line, and then they push you up further up to this 384.29 resistance and then 414.50. I do think, this thing has potential to go a little bit crazy here and continue in this vertical manner. That's really all I got to say about Tesla. I think it is going higher. You had very heavy volume over here on Friday, a little continuation style move after your 14% day over here. Had a relatively flat day, and then what happened? You continued to close out the week with, another almost 10% move intraday. I'm really liking Tesla. Pullbacks are buying opportunities. All right. Daily 9. Notice how you got bought up right around here. Good sellers. All right. This is something price likes to kind of, just use as a roadmap here. Pull back into it. It's probably going to align with anywhere between, 289.52 and 299.29. I think the retest of 300 is going to be a big psychological level right there. You probably do get buyers defending there. So, 299.29, that's the level that I would be paying attention to get back into this thing. I think, not that I wrote it up there, wrote it up to here. Kind of disappointed when I saw what this thing did later on. But, at the end of the day, can't be too greedy in these markets. That's also a lesson I've learned over the years, and cannot fault it. But yeah, get the $300 pullback. Daily 9 is probably going to start, getting dragged up there. Probably, meets you halfway, and then you continue. That's what I'm looking for over on Tesla. Apple, I'm not going to say this is the clearest chart right now, guys. You have, a clears day breakdown here. You're going to have the golden pocket come into play right above around 230. Expect sellers up here. I'm just going to say you broke down from this rising wedge here. Okay. I don't know if I just said falling wedge, but you broke down from this rising wedge over here. You're now, you swept support. It's okay. You're finding sellers right over here where you broke down from. I'm not looking for much out of Apple, right? Changed my mind. Get back up to a new all-time high. This thing probably, it probably goes a decent amount further. You probably have, you're going to get short skin being squoze. You're going to have a momentum style trade going there on Mr. Apple, just like this, all right, for maybe 1 to 2 weeks. But until that happens, I'm going to say this is not the most bullish chart out of all the ones I'm going to show, all the mega caps, all right? So moving over here to Amazon. Amazon, something on the weekly chart looks absolutely phenomenal. Would not surprise me to get a pullback to this 201.20 level over here. All right, that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. You did break the $200 sell wall. You found buyers off the level that we were paying attention to. Is either going to be right here or over here, 195.37 or 189.93. Found buyers off the break and retest, and this is the next break and retest level right here at 201.20. All right, I'm just going to take that off. I'm going to take that off too. All right, look for a break. Look for a break underneath Wednesday's high over there. All right, and you could have a slippery slope there. But, obviously, guys, we're looking for the dip to be bought over here. You just had a big move, and, on the monthly chart, you could see what's really going on here. This move just got started. We were pointing this out as it happened. All right, the whole time over here, we knew this thing was just literally doing a giant break and retest over here. This move probably just started. We're probably going to see like 230, 240. All right. Looking bullish on Amazon. Google over here, weekly chart. I shared my thoughts not too long ago on this guy. All right. Actually, I'll just add this back because this is, you know, these were the thoughts. You pull back into here. This is where you wanted to buy. This is your buy zone. All right. Your buy area, we'll call it right here, 170.41 down to this 0.618 fib. You had a perfect reaction. We were saying, you know, after all this consolidation, that's about 3 months of consolidation. Then even just this range over here, you probably weren't going to spend a few trading sessions above it and then come back in the range. Very likely to find buyers over here. You had the daily 9. And now, guys, it does look like you want to push above 183.79 and start trekking towards 193.31. I do think new all-time highs in coming over here for Goog. And, you know, this is one of the charts that makes me think, hey, guys, all right, this is meta. We probably haven't seen all the upside yet. All right. The top callers, I don't know what they're looking at. I really don't. You know, I've been calling these charts and, well, reading them in real time every single day. Not every single day, but, you know, 5 to 6 days a week for, you know, the past like 2 years publicly on this YouTube channel around there. And I'm just going to say, you know, out of everything we've ever gone over, all right, and all the conclusions we've come to, using that same logic, guys, which has seemed to work out very well on, you know, this select group of tickers over the past, you know, few years. Guess what? By using that logic, we're probably about to take out this all-time high, all right? We're probably going to get above this wick. Once you get above the wick, any sellers over here are going to be underwater. Maybe you get a little pullback. Maybe, you know, shorts start to cover. I'm not going to say there's a lot of shorts over here on Google. Any of these mega cap stocks, they don't have a lot of shorts, guys. So short squeezes, you know, not too often over there, or not too common. What is common? Gamma squeezes. That is that. But, you know, over here, guys, above 183.79, you got nothing. You got nothing until you come up to a new all-time high above 193.31. You had a bunch of consolidation here. You got above your, you know, weekly 9 over here. We talked about it, right? Get back above it. That's when things are probably going to start taking a turn. We were open to, you know, possibility of you dance around it. Now you broke out, retest it, and now you continue on your way. You're very likely coming to a new all-time high over the coming weeks on Coop. I'm looking for higher prices. On the daily time frame, we could see support 178.42 and then 175.91. It's going to be from over here. All right. Underneath there, you have over here. I don't think you're going to come back down and fill this gap. I really don't. I think you're much more likely to maybe come down here in between 175.91 and 178.42. Find buyers there. Daily 9 meets you halfway. And I think you're going to take out this 183.79 spot. That is that. And then you're going to start moving up. Microsoft, how we looking over here? We'll look on the weekly chart, guys. You're just kind of stuck in this consolidation. You didn't get the complete pullback that I was looking for over here, this green little circle over here between 480 and your 0.786 fib. You didn't get it. We were looking for that opportunity because daily RSI was going to be oversold. It was going to be a clear as day buying opportunity down there. All right. And then we're going to look for a smaller time frame on the hourly or so for that bullish setup to appear. What happened, guys? You ranged out here. You broke above 416.16 and you ran to the next resistance level at 426.10. You didn't really have much in between here. And now, guys, this is where you have some congestion going on over here. Pull back into 416.16. You probably do get buyers. You're going to have the daily 9 right over there. All right. I imagine it's just going to be a higher low before you come up and take out this high, get above 426.10, and then you got 431.08. And at the end of the day, I do think you're going to make your way up to 440. Plus, I think this is a laggard, and I think we got a lot of room to run, guys. That's why I was saying, top callers, I don't think you make sense right now. I don't think you make sense at all, and I will remind you guys of that as we go. You're definitely going to get top callers, and I'm definitely going to be the guy to remind you, hey, that's not how this works. There you go. Meta, weekly chart, bullish. All right, weekly chart, you're finally starting to turn this thing around. All right, you had this little congestion period right here, this pullback. It took some time. It took 4 to 5 weeks. And now you are clear as day seeing buyers step back in. Notice you had these red candlesticks. You had the first green one, and then you had a big leg up. All right, from that point, from that first green candlestick right here, what do you get? You got $80. From this breakout, you got $50, $60. All right. Give me 650 over here on Meta. That was the target from breaking out over here. I think it's coming. I think it's coming, ladies and gents. I do. You found buyers at the weekly 9 over here. Clear as day. You got that bullish engulfing candlestick on the week. I do think we are probably going to start pushing to a new all-time high above 602.95. And then, you know, My mental target, what I got in mind is 650. That's what I've had in mind since we broke out over here. I know you didn't run straight to it. All right. But you did get that $600 cycle level. That is the next psychological level at 650. That's what I'm watching over here on Meta. All right. Your support, you got this heavily traded level down over here. So pull back at the 581.61. You probably get that defended. You're going to have the daily 9 meeting you halfway over here. Probably get buyers stepping in. And it probably would go something like, all right, maybe take some time Monday through Wednesday, and then you pop back up with the overall market by end of week. I really don't know how exactly this week is going to shape up, guys, but we can definitely connect the dots over here and connect our puzzle pieces and get our big picture point of view, which is, guys, get a pullback. Pullback as clear as day buying opportunity on all the charts that you showed. And, you know, with how I'm seeing the indices line up, I think we're probably going to start the week with a pullback and then get that bought up by the end of the week. And, yeah, on that pullback, you're going to be like, people are going to be like, I told you so. Guess what? All right. No, you didn't, top caller. No, you didn't. You said we're going to have a top. Well, it can't be a 1 week pullback and then you go back up. That's not a top. There you go. Your boy over here is not calling for the top, and he's also calling for that pullback. So who's really right? There you go. All right. Let's talk about some chip stocks, huh? Talk about some chips. Guys, you closed out again. You had this little congestion period right there. Got bought up just like Meta over there at the, weekly 9 over here. I'm also going to point out, I know we got this zone we're paying attention to there. But you can clear as they see, we have this look on so many charts, as well as QQQ. Yeah, QQQ got bought up right here and shot up to new all-time high. I think that is the analog chart. That is, the reference chart for this one. I think we're probably about to see this take out 262.26, fill that 270.54 gap right there, hit it with the gap fill, and then, maybe you get a little pullback around here. Maybe it just shoots straight up. I have no idea. Chips they've not been shooting straight up. We've had a lot of congestion, so I'm just going to say, if you come up to this 270.54 gap, it would not surprise us at all to see something like this, and then you go up. There you go. All right, so that's what I'm watching for SMH over here as resistance over there. If you pull back, I'm going to take off that right there. Yeah, we'll just keep that how it is. We pull back into that 253.32 to 255.73 zone. Probably get buyers defending there. You're going to have the daily 9, at least for a dead cat bounce. But, probably a higher low before you take out this high. Nvidia, all right. Fresh all-time high this week, guys. Again, we knew this pullback was going to be a buying opportunity. It just did not pull back as much as I was looking for, which we actually talked about. We were like, we wouldn't be surprised if they don't give everyone the thing that, everyone's paying attention to. Little did we know, you popped right back up. I thought you were probably going to have this pop and then sell back down. You did not. You just kept going. But, that's why we watch the daily 9, guys. That is what we watch for short-term momentum. The second this thing got back up over here, we knew, hey, it's, this chart is completely open to the possibility of just running straight up, back up to a new high. Why? Because now you have short-term momentum. When you get under it, that's your time to, be risk off. You get over it, that's when you could take these short-term entries. That's when you have a risk-on environment. That's how I look at all of these mega caps when they're above that 9. All right? Notice how you're above it. You just kept going straight up. You could have taken your risk on, and the second you got underneath it, you would have known, hey, all right, I lost that trade, but now I know not to take any more bullish trades until we get back above, okay? And what happened? You had a little dead cat bounce, and then you died. You got back above it right over here. I know you got congestion, but at the end of the day, this acted as your buying opportunities. You reverted to the mean, and your short-term momentum was back to the upside, providing long opportunities. All right? You had the same thing. Like, this is what I'm saying. You're above it. You're probably going to be pushing new high, all right? Above, your most recent swing high over there. Got underneath it, got back above it. It was off to the races. What provided support, guys? Your daily 9. What provided support these 2 times? Your daily 9. All right, and then you got underneath it. Guys, it's okay. It was 3 days you were underneath it. Chill. 4 days, 4 trading sessions. Chill. Got back above it. You pull back into it, it's probably going to act as another buying opportunity, just like I pointed out over here. All right. And it does happen to align with another break and retest level. So certainly is something I'm going to point out here as a little trade idea next week. Pull back to start off the week into here, just like over here. All right. See how this is on Tuesday. This is exactly what I'm talking about when I say pull back to start the week, get bought up by the end of the week. This is Nvidia. You just broke out. I don't think you're just going to get sucked back into here. I think you're very likely going to pull back here. If you pull back here, get bought up to new high. All right. And that would go like this. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. 150 incoming. All right. Not saying you're not going to go straight there on Monday. I'm not saying that at all. You can. All right. But pull back. We're bullish on the pullback. TSM. We pointed this out. I hammered the freaking table, and I'm salty myself that I trolled myself on it. I really did. So this thing right here. What happened the next day? You got up. All right. In pre-market, I think you were actually 208 on Friday. But guess what, guys? Trade idea still stood. All right. Short-term trade idea. This is actually on the focus list. You know, break above over here. It wasn't my fault that you just didn't want to do it over here. You never got the trigger for the short-term trade right here. You did over here. And from this point, guys, pull back into 198.17. It's a buying opportunity for these gray levels you see right here. 201.97, 205.20. Now, you do also have, you know, that high at 206.61 if you want to pay attention to that. But we can clear as day see where the seller stepped in. All right. It was at that previous swing high over here. And then I do think 212.60 is going to be hit at the end of the day. Just like Meta, pull back in a controlled manner. You didn't take as long on the pullback, but again, you broke out to new high. It's just like Nvidia. I just pointed out, you broke out to new high. You're very likely going to get buyers on the retest. All right. There's most often there's a retest. You broke out this little inverse head and shoulder pattern. We were calling that one out. We've been watching TSM closely. Since you were over here, all right, we knew it was the chip that had the setup. MU, we knew it was the chip that did not have the setup. And then SMC was the big dead dog that was, you know, we just didn't trust. Well, what happened? The thing died when I decided to start trusting it. All right, I'll point that one out right here. I will be transparent, guys. You know, if you see my failures, they're here publicly on the channel. All right, I call shots, and I will be, you know, starting the videos. I'm gonna start this next week. We're gonna have a little disclaimer at the front of the videos because I don't want anybody getting the wrong idea. Don't just blindly follow your boy Henry. Don't do it. All right. I read price action. That's what I do here on this channel, and I hope you guys enjoy that. And I hope you make money off it. But at the end of the day, all right, I cannot, you know, have newbies coming onto the channel and being like, let me blindly follow him. Let me put everything I got on him. And then something like this happens. And then boom, you're really mad at Henry. So I will have a disclaimer. You did come down to that 2260 support over here, swept that, and you're starting to find buyers over here. You got the daily bullish divergence going on. But as you could see, you know, the thing fell off a cliff. So that is that. We don't track it anymore. Avgo over here, weekly chart, bullish. Same look as Meta, guys. Pull back. Same look as QQ, Meta, SMH, all of these. You got your neckline over here. Oh, look at it. A little heart. I love you guys. All right. You got your double bottom, neckline for that double bottom. Pull back in a controlled manner. Impulsive buying after that. We're probably going higher next week. You're probably taking out that 186.42 high. All right. And from that, I do think you're heading up to that $200 cycle level after that. The measure move for this is larger than what we have right now. It's larger than a new all-time high. It would be satisfied if you came all the way up here. All the way up there. Like what? 210. All right. So 210 is really, you know, my mid to long-term target over here for this push. I know it's not long-term, but for this push, it's my target. You know, the whole weekly push here, this next leg up, 210, that's the target. 200 is that intermediate target there. And then, of course, all-time high, 186.42. We're looking for this dip to be bought. And where does it happen to get bought up at? Weekly 9, guys. Weekly 9. I love my 9 moving average, guys. I think the 9 exponential moving average on pretty much every time frame is going to serve you well. I use it for intraday on the 15-minute, the 5-minute, and the 2-minute. And then what do you got over here, guys? All right, we definitely use it here on the daily and the weekly chart. And we have a good jolly time here on this channel with it. AMD, guys. AMD. What do we got? All right, you did find buyers right here underneath the 0.786 fib, right underneath it. There was that. Your boy cut literally at the day of the bottom. And then you start bouncing back to my original target, which is going to be 148. This low right here, 148.01. That's what I was looking for. You're now above it. All right. You are rejecting 150.52 resistance. That's where you most recently broke down from. Get above there. You have 154.92, 160.44, and then 167.51. I don't think this looks bad here on the daily, but on the weekly chart, you could see the same thing I see. I'm not saying it doesn't just get bought up again like that. All right. I understand you kind of had a cliffhanger kind of look. You did get bought up right from support. But, you know, as of right here, I wouldn't be majorly bullish over here on AMD. I just showed you a bunch of charts that you guys have clear game plans for. Right here, you don't have a clear game plan for it. If you trade this thing and you lose, I'm just saying it's kind of expected because you don't have a clear game plan for it. There's nothing you can really point to on this chart that suggested bullish or bearish right now. It's kind of just in between. Don't go crazy with it, all right? Do not go crazy with it. ARM, guys, you got a big day right over here. You got this bull flag. This is something that if you break out, I think you're probably going to have a short-term move up to 164.16. And then you start within like 1 to 2 weeks pushing up to this new all-time high at 188.75. So above there. And you're probably hitting the $200 psych level. You have this bull flag here. It's taken, I think, 3 weeks over here. Yeah, about 3.5 weeks there. Break out of that trend line. All right, which honestly will just come with a break of this high over here. So we're just going to do that. All right, you have the clear as day, heavily traded level right over there. I want to see a daily close above 152.22, but in reality, if you take out Thursday's high at 154.65, that's why I got the alert there. I just put it there. You're probably going to have yourself a breakout, and you probably start making that move up to 164.16, and then the short term, 173.23, then 188.75. You could get a ripperoonie going just like this guy over here, just like these, all right, these little waves up. I think you're about to have another wave up after, you know, seeing this controlled consolidation / pullback period over here. I think you're about to have the impulsivity come back into this stock. All right, so let's watch it. We'll keep it on top watch over here. MU, I'm just going to say, yes, it just gave us what we wanted. It finally did. It came back up here. And now you have like a double bottom breakout over here between this one and this one. Your neckline's over here. All right. So you technically do have a double bottom breakout because you had this big one, neckline right here. Okay. False breakout right here. And you have that one. I'm guessing it pulls back to the 9 and then gets buyers, and then you continue on up to 127.27. But there's another chart that, you know, I'm going to say it's not the clearest thing. Like, yes, it is clear that is, you know, we definitely have a bullish picture here. This is your bullish consolidation period. For all I know, you're going to pop up above the high over here, like, you know, top of this little range. You have like a pretty, you know, that's like a month and a half right there of range. Pop above it, you know. You have nothing in between here and here. So 127.27 remains our target over here in MU. Is it something I'll trade? No, you got no reason to touch it. All right. Like, you know, you could do whatever you want. You can. I'm not saying this thing isn't going to go on, you know, a massive ripperoonie over here. But I'm saying there are better charts that I just showed you that we have game plans for. And, you know, it's the same thing as AMD, except not as bad. Not even close. All right. We know this thing is bullish. It has bullish weekly structure. Daily chart, we could tell what it's doing right over here. It's not like AMD at all. But, you know, same concept there of you have things that are much more clear and you have better, you know, entry points on these. Let's just look at Nvidia. You have a clear as day. Very nice entry point over here on the break and retest 144.42. All right. I just pointed out TSM. All right. Pull back into 198.17. There's your clear entry point. And then I pointed out some on the mega cap stocks. You don't have to concern yourself with the things you're uncertain with. That's going to lead to you just being jumpy and all over the place. All right. There you go. Bitcoin stonks. All right. Bitcoin first, guys. You could pull back. It's going to meet you halfway over here with the daily 9. If you pull back in the previous all-time high at 73K, 794. All right. So about 74K right there. Pull back into it. We are going to be expected buyers. You just had this fresh breakout. I think this just started. You had increasing volume over here. I think you probably are going to, you know, have another leg up like this where you just keep going for, you know, a few weeks here. Like maybe 1 to 2 months of just straight up upside action. Pullbacks are clearly buying opportunities in the short term. So that's, you know, kind of the mentality over here. Now let's talk about coin. This is definitely going to be moving with that. All right. This is queuing up for a big breakout. You're about to have some continuation vertical style moves over here. And I think we have a shot at pushing up to 368.90. I know I sound freaking nuts. All right. I understand. You're going to have the $300 cycle level right over here around 299.15 resistance. Break above 283.48. You have 299.15. then I imagine you're probably going to get a quick move up to 331.70. I think this is just like this. It's no different than these other vertical moves that had multiple weeks of vertical move. All right. After that first week, you had 3 to 4 more weeks of upside. 1, 2, 3. You had your first big one right here. All right. 50% move. And you had a 1, a 2, and a 3. What happened over here? You started your move. 1, a 2. I'd say after the first big week over there. Over here, you had a consolidation. And then you had another 2 weeks after that consolidation of massive moves to the upside. Over here, you just went straight up. I think you have a scenario over here where you could go straight up. Pullback is buying opportunity, but, you know, I think it's pretty clear what's about to happen here. I wish I did not play CLSK and I just only played coin. I'm going to be honest. You know, there is that. So jumping over here to CLSK. Guess what, guys? It is halted right now. You know, I got a crypto buddy in the space that, you know, he's extremely fond of this company and has a decent amount of money on the line over here on this company right here. He likes this one. He likes Wolf. Those apparently are, you know, the best in the space right now in his eyes. I trust his judgment. And I'm just going to say they are, you know, experiencing a halt right now strictly because of these stupid warrants. All right. The warrants over here went nuts on Friday. And not Friday, Thursday. And guess what? That is like the only reason this is taking place. It's not anything suspect with the company. If you got proof, let me know over on Twitter, guys. Not in the comments, because the comments are turned off. I'm returning to myself, my positive self, and I'm honest. I've been feeling good about it these past few days. All right. I'm tired of the negativity. I don't care if, you know, we have a bunch of positive comments and then I have to really see, you know, only like 3 or 4 negative comments. I don't want any of the negativity coming into my life. All right. I'm a naturally energetic and positive being. I don't want to talk crap to anyone, but I promise if someone just disrespects my work and tries, you know, telling other people like, oh, he's not good, I'll probably sit there trying to defend it. And in reality, these people are stupid anyway. And these people are, you know, they're not the people that should be throwing around criticism because they probably are just keyboard warriors, little hobbits. But at the end of the day, I know myself. And, you know, that's something that comes with time. I do know myself. I do know I probably will try and clash with them in the comments. I'll probably try and then make them feel as bad as I'm feeling. All right. I don't want to feel like that at all. I want to just all the time feel good. And, you know, I don't want stress interfering with my trading. All right. With, you know, my private group over there, I got, you know, I got to help people out in there. I got to help myself in my own personal trading. I got my own personal life. I got my physical fitness. You know, I don't want added stress there. So just know, guys, I am sorry I turned off the comments, but 100% that really is the only reason. I want to do better work. All right. And I want to get back to a state of, you know, just having myself influence me. Because I know myself and I am genuinely a positive being and I want the best for everyone I kind of come in contact with. And yeah, I just don't want to, I don't want to deal with internet trolls anymore, guys. I don't. So that is that. So there we go. You did get this fresh breakout over here though. I'm just saying, halt aside, this thing was about to rip to $15 and still very well could be, all right? Bitcoin goes to 80K this week. This thing's probably still going to, whenever it gets on hold, it's still probably going to open up here. It's not something fundamentally wrong with the company. So just know that if you are playing this thing, if you have options expiring on the 15th, like myself, that sucks. I will not deny that one. I hope this thing freaking unhalts, you know, early in the week and I can exit those. You know, if you're buying the dip, guess what? You made a great buy. The thing has a great technical setup. It is a great fundamentally strong company. They just had those stupid warrants go absolutely berserker. I was reading them, and it makes no sense. They're exercisable at a share price of 165. I have no idea why that's a thing. I don't think that's right. That one would be coming up over here back in 2018. I don't think that's a thing. But if it is, guys, what if this thing just gaps up over here all the way above $25 and we're all, you know, hella rich? I don't know. I hope that's the case. Probably not. Regardless, strong technical setup over here. I like it. And as long as this thing doesn't, you know, as long as it's not an SMCI situation, which it does not seem at all to be an SMCI kind of situation where they're doing shady shit, this thing probably is going to still pop up to $15. I'm going to say probably this week, as long as Bitcoin doesn't crap the bed. But, you know, even if Bitcoin pulls back, maybe this pulls back with it. All right. But as we do know, we just reviewed the Bitcoin chart, that it's just going to be a buying opportunity. Mar over here, guys, this is one that's just consolidating above this. You know, we had an inverse head and shoulders pattern, but we'll just call it a range. 3-month range. You just broke out, and you're finally finding buyers above the range, unlike this false breakout over here. You're probably going higher, probably going to 2083 resistance over there. So I'm just going to change to right there. Use that little, probably an hourly swing high over there. But above there, guys, I do think you're probably going to have a straight ride. We're going to use this level right here. All right, up to 2282. That is going to be a level that's probably respected if hit. Probably don't just stall out here at the 0.618 fibs. Probably going to be 2282. You get sellers really stepping in here. All right, but you know, you could see the 18% move that I see right there. Definitely bullish consolidation right here. You do have earnings right around the corner, so that's something to keep in mind. Next one is MSTR, guys. I think coin really is going to be the star of the show, though. All right, MSTR already had quite a few straight vertical moves up. All right, this one in particular. And then this most recent one, where everything else just kind of got left in the dust. And now we can see coin over here is starting to get that vertical action right here. I do think, you know, if you pull back over here, it's definitely going to be, you know, a week of a buying opportunity right there. If you get that week-long consolidation or pullback, buying opportunity up the wazoo. Coin is going much higher. Everyone's going to want to FOMO into Bitcoin. I'll tell you, I got someone in my life that doesn't know anything about the market, and the fact that they bought Bitcoin near all-time highs, right around that like 75K mark, guess what? You know, and they were excited about it. Guess what? That does suggest to me, yeah, FOMO is actually starting to kick in, you know, the everyday investors over there, and they're starting to see about it. And what are they going to be buying this stuff on? Coinbase. All right. Like a lot of the people, are institutions included, they're going to be buying on Coinbase. This is going to be the main participant in this Bitcoin rally, in my personal opinion. MSTR, yeah, we've seen, you know, it's kind of just went straight up for a very long time over here. Every dip back to the daily 9 over here was your buying opportunity. You had a 1, you had a 2, you had a 3, 4, 5. Now you had a 6. Yes. Coin, though, just started. And coin is probably going to fall in that, you know, suit right over there. Pull back. Over here, clear as day buying opportunity. We're between 230 and 240, in my personal opinion. All right. Now, guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about some trade ideas going into the following week. I'm going to point out TLT, guys. We've been talking about this one for a little while throughout this consolidation. You never really got the break above 92.98 like I've been paying attention to. You kept failing there. Get above there, and you probably start having a pretty quick, you know, need I say, vertical move, just like over here. All right. Doesn't have to fully come up to 96.47 right here right away. All right. But I do think at above 92.98, you have a recipe for at least coming up to this 95.14 gap right there. And, you know, end goal is 96.47. Weekly chart, you could very clearly see we have a reversal candlestick in play after, you know, seeing a lot of just, you know, not bullish candlesticks print. And now you have this off the heaviest volume we've had in a very long time. Like literally a very long time. You're probably about to be seeing some upside, all right? Notice how you had heavy volume right here on this upper wick. You have the exact opposite picture right at the 0.786 fib. Chances are you're about to see this play out, this daily bullish divergence, and we're about to see a snapback, all right? So I'm watching TLT. That is what, you know, that's something that's looking really juicy coming into this week. Next one we're going to talk about is also looking real juicy coming into this week. D-King. Get the pullback, break and retest entry off of 39.31. We like it, but, you know, at the end of the day, you're really about to break out of this, you know, downtrend you got going on. And, you know, you did already have this one we were paying attention to, and you technically hit it with the break and retest over here. But now, you know, clear as day, you have between this point and this point, you are about to break out. You didn't do it just yet, but you got really heavy volume coming in on Thursday and Friday after earnings, all right? After what it looks like to be a miss here, they ended up having a big move up. Buyers like whatever they heard, all right? And I'm not going to say I listened to the earnings call or reviewed the earnings, but I will point out what's on these charts right here, guys, and this thing looks like it could have a big move up, all right? It looks like it could be coming up, reverting to the mean over here. You know, this is probably around golden pocket of this whole decline. Oh, look at that. It was. Oh, wow. Boom, boom, boom. All right. 44.62. All right. I think you're probably going to, get above 42.31 this week, and then maybe 44.62. And then if things really get crazy and you just want to straight up run for the highs over here, 46.29. And then by that point, we know you're probably going to come up to this resistance up here. Okay. But, weekly chart in particular, this thing looks somewhat of a form of like, a little ascending wedge going on over here, a little bull flag action, consolidation after, stair stepping for a very long time here. Could be something before you start really running up here to 50, 60 bucks. All right. I like it. I really like D King. You do have earnings this week, but you finally got the move we've been paying attention to. Premiums are definitely juiced. Congrats if you ended up buying over here. You actually had right on the uptrend. I know this trend line over here is, a little skewed. But you did end up holding right where we were paying attention to. This was the confluence spot we were paying attention to between this touch point, this touch point, this touch point. That was your trend line. You had a bull flag. All you need to do is break out from that little consolidation style bull flag over here. All right. Or consolidation in the form of a bull flag, I should say. Then you're probably going to pop up to 97.57 from that point. 127 in the short term. I still think that is the case, even though you got earnings right around the corner on Thursday this week. Support 97.57. We already know buyers are there. Come back down. You're going to have the daily 9, probably get bought up there. Underneath there, you have the uptrend to pay attention to. But resistance is the focus right here because we're probably going higher here. 127, 102.88, 105.83. Honestly, earnings could give you a big move like this with how you're set up. Just saying. Oxy, I'm only putting this on your radar because the weekly time frame now has that bullish divergence. All right. And last time I pointed this out, it was like right over here when the weekly RSI had hit oversold territory. And now, guys, you do have a lower low over here in price. You do have the higher high over here on the RSI. All right. I'm not going to say oil looks the best. All right. You're kind of just still stuck in this range here. You can see that little uptrend right over here. I don't know why my lines moved over. You got something going on over here. All right, a little head and shoulders. That's why I say it's not looking the best. Something like that. But nonetheless, all right, Warren Buffett is not, selling everything. We haven't got any notice that he's selling everything. He's probably buying. All right, we'll probably find out a little later. But yeah, I think this thing is probably setting up to revisit this spot right up here, which you already did. You already did it once we mentioned it before. I remember getting hate on Twitter and I deleted my post. But you retested the exact spot, 55.91, guys. That is, where you broke down from. I'm looking for a retest of that spot. All right, that's what I think is going to be coming after this sell is done up here. I think we get another retest up here, and that is a decent move right there for you to, at least watch. All right, if you don't want to play it, there you go. I'm personally not going to be playing it just because, I like momentum trades. I like, my break and retest. I like knowing that, buyers are on my side over here. And right here, you are definitely, if you're an investor, there you go. All right. But, as far as a short-term momentum trader like myself, guess what? There's that. All right. There's that. Sofi, weekly chart, insanely bullish. Fresh breakout above 1170 over there. All right. I do have to assume you're going higher. Resistance 1356 and then 1727, guys. Small caps, they are going for a ride with what IWM is doing. And I think we just got this party still. Like, I know you just got it started over here. We definitely pointed out over here. All right. I didn't play it. I remember I tried playing it somewhere over here, but I definitely got out for either a small loss or like not too much. I remember. At this point, guys, I think it's pretty obvious this thing is going higher. Pullback is a clear as day buying opportunity. Either it gets buyers in the zone, 1049 to 1170, or it comes all the way back to 918, which I don't think will be the case, but, clear as day buying opportunity if it does. Afrm, another, little small cap over here. I guess we call it a mid cap, but, it's a mid cap. Nonetheless, it is looking like it could do some things. All right, guys. Clear as day cup and handle pattern. The daily chart, I'm going to point out, you had buyers stepping in over there off the sell. Clear as day wick over there to risk. And, I think it's pretty obvious buyers are trying to defend this. On every swing down, you end up with that. You get buyers defending right there with the long wick. I know it didn't happen here, but, right here, this is that time. You popped right from the 0.786 fib, all right? I'm looking for a retest of 51.49. From that point, we're probably going to, start testing these resistance levels above. But what is also going to happen if you get above 51.49 and get that weekly close, guys, we'll have a breakout on our hands. And at that point, we're going to be looking for, short-term setups on this guy to ride. All right. The same thing is like Sofi over here. You had, up. All right. A little handle pattern over there. It was a bigger handle. But Afrm, a big cup, and then your handle. And pop above here. It's looking amazing. All right. So we're definitely going to be paying attention to this over the coming weeks if you can get a weekly close above there. I like it. Upstart, we talked about it before it happened. Congrats if you played it. Premiums reduced to the freaking gills. So I thought, oh, everyone's about to lose their money and they're about to get crushed off earnings. I mean, in the back of my mind, I knew we've seen these things before where earnings gives you a big move either to the upside or downside. Definitely had the setup for the upside. So, I knew there was a chance over here. Little did I know you're going to have a 46 freaking percent day from the setup that we were pointing out for the past like 1 to 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. Did I play it? No. Pointed out for like 1-2 weeks, it did not touch it. But I don't like earnings, guys. I don't like playing them. I don't like how they juice up premiums, and it makes me uncertain about the move I'm actually playing because you have to see such a big move because the implied move is so big to actually make your money. Well, they went nuts. They went nuts. All right. This is probably just the beginning. All right. Same setup as Afrm over there. Cup and handle breakout. You just started. And, I think if Afrm breaks out, I think we very well could get some things going. All right. The next one I'm going to point out is Pton. All right. Pton is kind of the, same little setup. There's this guy on Twitter I follow. I don't think he watched my videos. All right. But his name is Za. Followed me back. I was like, oh, yeah, this guy posts really good stuff. This guy's been hammering the table on there, so credits to him, not to me. I wouldn't have even been paying attention to this thing if he did not. But in reality, guys, this thing is getting its move, and I think it's probably one of these things that it just started. And he's been pointing out like this could very well be the next Carvana. And I'm not saying we don't have a decent amount of pullback there. But this thing does look, I agree. All right. This thing looks like it could start, really popping here. And, above 982, you really don't have anything until here. We could get a big day like Afrm, or not Afrm, like Upstart just showed you. I understand that was off of earnings. But yeah, this thing, excuse me, this thing's right in the daily 9 up here. Until that fails, guys, short-term momentum is going to be the upside here on the daily time frame. And, on the weekly chart, if you pull back in the 724, weekly 9 probably meets you halfway. That's your buying opportunity, but get above 982. You have like really nothing until here. I think that's a move that can happen. All right. This is 80% move. This is one that I thought had a chance of being a little upstart off the open over here after earning. You did not. You face planted. And from this point, now I'm just going to say it looks like you could undercut this low over here. And then come down here to 1836. And from that point, that is where I would expect buyers to come back in. All right. I was hoping this would be something that pulled an upstart right there. Like, just followed suit. It did not. All right. It did not. This thing did end up getting a little false breakout. Got sucked right back into it the day after those earnings. And, now you closed down at the low of the week. Well, near the low of the week with increasing volume. I think you're probably going to undercut this and revisit this level over here, 1836. That's your breakout level from this inverse head and shoulders pattern. You have this big, breakout over here from this downtrend. I don't think the upside is over here. I think you're probably just going to find a higher low and then continue on your way. BABA. All right. So I pointed out China stocks on this day right here. We were getting some breakouts over there on PDD. And then, over here was looking kind of juicy as well. Break above 101.45. It could be time to go over here on Bob. But what happened, guys? You stalled. You stalled out right there on Thursday. And then now you undercut this low. I have to assume you're going to come back down here. And, on this weekly chart, here are the two levels that make sense to me, guys. First of all, weekly chart, weekly candle is bearish. Increasing volume. Probably are going to see some more downside here. I'm watching 90.46. Maybe you sweep that. Test the 0.618 fib, find buyers there. That would be picture perfect. All right. I can remember over here. All right. Found buyers in the golden pocket over here as well. I think you also found buyers in the golden pocket. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah. All right. Golden pocket, golden pocket. I have to assume we're probably about to get the same thing. All right, guys. This is just how it works, guys. And the golden pocket is nothing special. It's just yeah, if the market's going to, if the market participants as a whole are going to start buying it up from there, after an impulsive move, that's where it retraces to. That's where they start stepping in. I'm not going to try and explain it because, I'm not going to say I know why exactly that happens. I don't know. All right. I just noticed that it's something that, worked and I built it into my system. And, then you got things like look over here on NASDAQ and, intraday. We'll just take off all the drawings. All right. And then, you got things like this. All right. Let's take off that. Take off that. All right. Why? I can't tell you why. I really can't. I have no idea. You didn't respect it over there. All right. There were 3 stair steps I saw back to back to back. I was like, oh my God, this is why my system is the system. This is why I use the golden pocket for entries. The exact reason. Because if you're going to continue that trending move in the impulsive direction, whichever direction it was, they typically step in right there. Like I could point out right here. I know on this move, you didn't get up to it. But, as long as you were watching on your chart, you knew, don't long into here. All right? Don't. All right? You don't do it. I don't care that you got the little downtrend break. You just wait. You wait until the 0.786 fib right here gets broken, and then you probably do get 100% retracement. That would come up to here. And then from that point, you look for the larger retracement. All right? So get above here. This move right here is likely. It's not anything crazy. It's not anything special. I'm just pointing out this is something that works on pretty much every ticker I watch. I get a bunch of ticker requests, all right, in the Discord. And, this is something that I can clear as they see on all of these charts. Yeah, they get respected continuously. So just pay attention to it and you're going to have a good time. Like if you lost this low over here, that's what I was saying on QQ earlier. I was looking for you to just literally come into, golden pocket territory. Just like I think you did over here, picture perfect. Yeah, picture perfect right there, the 0.618 fib. This is why it's part of the system. This is why I will hammer it into your head in almost every video that this is a concept that works. You don't need to complicate things, all right? I've tried complicating things. I even tried picking up some ICT concepts recently. And I'm going to tell you, this stuff is so complicated for absolutely no reason. And at the end of the day, I found a system that is so simple that works, and I don't know why. I even tried complicating the crap out of things. All right, you got fair value gaps, all right? They'll be respected sometimes. But you know what is pretty much all the time respected and gives you a clear bias, all right, when it's tested? Golden pocket. Do not complicate your trading, guys. It's not going to serve you well, all right? This is something that had me in the first half. I saw this day. I was like, oh, popping above that zone over there. Maybe you are going to start pushing, all right? But at the end of the day, I think you're going to come down here and sweep the 67.12 low. That is going to align with that 0.618 fib, that golden pocket we were just talking about. Daily RSI will be oversold if that happens. I'm looking to buy down here. I'm looking for buyers to start stepping back in for this move right here. As a $6 to $7 move, that is a 10% move that you personally can be playing right there, and I will guide you as we come down through it. I got my alert and I'll let us know about it. All right, if you want to know about these things in real time, if you want to have a focus list coming into each week with a clear game plan for the week, that is going to be linked down below. You could join the private community. All right, I hit it with the morning brief every morning, so we know our bias coming into the day, and then I update on NASDAQ throughout the day, typically until 11 a.m. I will just sit there trading NASDAQ, all right? During lunchtime, guys, setups are pretty choppy. So, I don't like to just sit on my screen during that. So, just know that one. But, typically we'll come back and we get some power hour setups as well. But over here, guys, this is something that I'm looking forward to if we get it. I really am. This is clear as day to me. Ever since this uptrend break over here, it's taking a little longer, but I'm really liking it. Last one I'll point out is coin. We already talked about this one in detail, but I think this honestly is your short-term momentum trade. If you're trying to play the Bitcoin, all right, this is something that's probably going to be getting all the action. I do think you're going to be getting up here. Just wait on it. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this hour-long video, our little market preparation, long market preparation going into the coming trading week. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your weekend. We're going to kill it next week. But remember, consolidation is likely. So, yes, kill it, guys, but be frugal, all right? You see profit, take profit kind of weak. I'm serious on that, guys. We don't have to get a massive pullback because of how bullish things are. And I don't think we go much higher without getting that pullback because of just, let's look at where VIX is, guys. All right. So I'll leave you guys with that little reminder there of the bias coming into the week. With that being said, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.